Hi everyone, it's Derek from the iReady podcast, and this is my reaction to the 1-0 victory over Braga tonight in the Europa League last 32, which puts us through 4-2 on aggregate. What a performance, what a result. Just again, the team leave me speechless. Partly in frustration as well, because we know how good they can play, and again that was proof of it tonight. We from minute one tonight were outstanding. We done the job we were meant to do. If I'm not a little frustrating again, because we had the opportunity to take them down fairly early on tonight, and that was the annoying thing. But to a man, the players were brilliant tonight. Edmondson coming in from really out cold, and he was outstanding tonight, as was Goldson. Again, frustrating from Goldson, because he can play so bad in one game and then just play out of his skin in this game. He was mopping up everything tonight. Can't hold him in more high esteem than that, because he was just brilliant. Kent, as much as the team on a whole were a bit reluctant going forward sometimes, he was running about the place brilliantly, and the goal he scored in the second half, I'll get onto that, but wow. As well, the other players tonight, they were just brilliant from minute one. A few quieter ones, a few slack passes as well, especially in the first 15 seconds, because it was a slack pass out of defence, almost let Braga in, and I sent a message to Dave, it's going to be a long night, and Dave replied, yes I know, I'm behind a cushion just now. And I think he must have thrown the cushion away, because we settled in fairly well after that. Again, a few slack passes, but we were finding our feet very well and defending great as well. The first half overall, it was a good first half, if not a little frustrating, as we'd done so much right and we just couldn't cement the chances we had. Braga were getting a lot of possession. They again were playing a very high line, and that we used that to our advantage, because we were knocking long balls right over them, right through them, and we were getting into the space. Just the final third again, we weren't taking a chance. Canberra had a great chance early on in the 8th minute. It was a quick break from midfield going 2v2. Arfield managed to slide the ball to Canberra on the left. He took it into the box and had a blistering shot, but it was right at the keeper, who saved it. Very similar to one of Morelos' last week as well. I don't know if it was maybe the shirt of the keeper or something like that. You just see it as a big beacon and you instantly hit towards that bit rather than hitting it away from there. So he was starting the game tonight, so it was good to see him getting a game, and he had chances. The one frustrating thing about him though, he was offside so many times. I don't know who he was getting instructions from in terms of what the offside rule was. Again, that's one of these things. They were playing a very high line trying to catch us out in that, and he done it effectively, but just you need to read the game. You look at the line and then time your run perfectly, and sadly we never done that often enough. If we had a multitude of other chances where we could have buried it very, very early on again. But fair play to Braga though, they were holding the high line, risky manoeuvre to do, but it worked because we couldn't time our runs. Braga had a great chance on the 25th minute where McGregor had to tip it over the bar after a great header by their attacker, and that was really the only major thing McGregor had to do in the game. I think he had a couple of very run-of-the-mill saves to make throughout the game, and that was the closest they really came. And then we got a penalty in the 43rd minute, no arguments whatsoever from it. We had a corner which came in, bounced out and right in front of the defender and up off his arm. Clear penalty, VAR was checked, and VAR obviously agreed with the referee's decision. And we don't seem to do waiting around for penalty kicks to be taken, because up steps Hadji, all the confidence in the world, and he missed it. I'm not going to blame Hadji too much for that though, because it was an outstanding save from the keeper. Yes, it was kind of the keeper's a good height for the keeper to dive, kind of middle height, but it was a blistering shot, and the keeper done very well to guess correctly and make a good save. But it's another one of these with another penalty taker, another miss. I don't know what we need to do. Certainly they need to be, maybe a session a week, or maybe more in this case, just practicing their dead balls and their penalties. But into half time, a wee bit deflated because of that obviously, and we thought, here we go, it's going to be one of these nights where we're going to be exactly like the cup final, not take our chances, get a penalty and miss the penalty, and we're going to go out. But we certainly never done that. We kept on playing very well, beating their high line. You knew something was going to come eventually, and up pops Kent on the 60th minute. It was great patient play, knocking the ball out from our defence. Lovely long ball over the top of the high line by Braga, by Hadji, right into space. Now Kent, he was completely away from the ball. He had to run from the left hand side into the middle. He made up some distance as well. He used his pace to get past the defender, got onto the ball, took the ball into the box and shoots past the keeper into the bottom right corner. Just what a ball, and just the vision to realise that your attacking player is going to be in, make a run, and his ability to do that. But the run from Kent tonight, he might have made up for his £7 million price tag, because securing the win and getting into the next round, I think, is worth about £2.5 million from what I've seen. So if that's the case, he certainly went a wee bit away to secure paying back that £7 million. But just what a goal, and to cap off a good performance from him. A lot's been said about how he's not done things. He's shown it in flashes, and I've been one of them. He's shown things in flashes, and he's not been as consistent as when we had them last year. But hopefully, again, this is this result for the players to kick on, because this is what we need. We did have the ball in the back of the net in the 76th minute after a corner. Goldson got his head to it. It was a great header as well from Goldson. Just, nothing would get by his head tonight. The ball was going straight in, but the keeper managed to pull out a great save, tipped it onto the post, comes back out to Arfield, who was miles offside from the initial play, knocks it into the back of the net. Can't have any arguments about that. And then we made a couple of changes. Braga made early changes as well. They obviously had to chase the game. They had a lot of pressure on us, but we mopped it up exceptionally well. That is one of the finest defensive performances we've put on this season. They are a very competent team, and we just mopped everything up. Edmondson and Goldson at the back were just outstanding. Certainly for me, Edmondson, especially because he's kind of came out from the cold. He's my man of the match tonight. But into the last 16, it's just I don't have the words to describe how baffling that is, for the fact that what we're even there, from starting in the first round of qualifying to get to the last 16, is just something monumental. This is certainly up there with 2008 in the way we've played, because we've had to come through so much, because we've had to rebuild the team, because we've played against arguably better opposition than we've played in 2008 as well, especially given the level we're at just now. But somebody asked me on our YouTube page after the last Braga game, do you think we could actually get to the final? And I said not a chance. And as much as I still believe that that's too much of an ask for this team, we said that in 2008 as well, and I am not saying that we're going to do it before anybody says anything, but we said these things in 2008, and look where we ended up. We put on performances like we've been putting on in Europe. Then who am I to say that we're never going to do that, because you never know what might happen. But anyway, we're right back into it again on Saturday night. It's a 5:30 kickoff. I'm on my way back up from Newcastle then, and I might be able to see the game on the train, because the game kicks off 5 minutes after my train departs back up to Edinburgh. So I won't have a post-match pod out for that game, but Dave and I will have a podcast out probably early hours of Friday morning and Friday evening, because we're recording tomorrow night, and obviously we'll go over the last 5 games, 2 Braga games and some of the dismal league games as well. But I can't take it away from the team tonight. They were outstanding. So if you want to check all of our stuff out, you can go to our website, which is ireadypodcast.wordpress.com, and there you can find all the links to our stuff there. So enjoy the rest of your night, because I certainly will. Thanks very much. Goodbye.